power of intention. How Niyyah transforms your entire life. Assalamu alaikum. And welcome to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. In our bustling lives, we are often judged by our actions, by what we do. We rush from one task to another, our days a blur of motions, obligations, and routines. But what if the most important part of any action isn't the action itself, but what's in your heart when you do it? What if the simple act of drinking a glass of water, of going to work, or even of sleeping, could be transformed from a mundane routine into a profound act of worship? This is the transformative and spiritual power of Niyyah, or intention. It is the silent, internal decision that defines the value and the purpose of everything we do. Today in this script, we will dive deep into the spiritual meaning of Niyyah. We will explore how intention is the key that unlocks the blessings of Niyyah of Allah, how it can turn our entire life into a continuous act of worship, and how a purified intention can guide us to a state of profound peace and spiritual connection. This is a journey to understand that our greatest deeds begin not with our hands or our feet, but with the sincere and conscious movements of our hearts. Part 1. The spiritual foundation of all deeds. The foundation of all our deeds, whether they are small or large, is our intention. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us this timeless principle when he said, "Actions are only by intentions, and every man shall have but that which he intended." Bukhari. The single hadith is the spiritual cornerstone of our faith. It tells us that our deeds are not judged by their outward appearance, but by the intention behind them. Think of it like this. Two people might stand in prayer, their movements identical, their words the same. But one person's intention is to sincerely connect with Allah, while the other's is to show off to those around them. To the outside world, their actions look identical. But to Allah, their value is completely different. The first person's prayer is a profound act of worship, while the second person's prayer is an empty shell. The action is the same, but the intention changes everything. Niyyah is the soul of our actions. Without it, our deeds are just empty motions. It is the spiritual lifeblood that gives our actions purpose and meaning. Part 2. The practical application. Transforming your day, the true power of Niyyah lies in its ability to turn our mundane, everyday life into a continuous state of worship. Our lives are not divided into religious moments and worldly moments. With a pure intention, our entire day can be an act of devotion. When you wake up in the morning, instead of just starting your day, take a moment to set the intention to wake up for the sake of days of Allah, to pray to Him, and to make your day productive and beneficial to others. When you go to work, set the intention to work with excellence and honesty, to earn a halal living, and to provide for your family, which is also an act of worship. This transforms your job from a chore into a noble act of devotion. When you eat a meal, set the intention to eat, to nourish your body, so that you have the strength to worship Allah and serve others. This transforms a simple act of eating into a spiritual one, a conscious act of gratitude. When you spend time with your family, set the intention to be kind, patient, loving for the sake of Allah. This transforms a family obligation into a profound act of worship. When you rest, set the intention to rest to renew your body and mind, so that you can serve Allah better and be more energetic for prayer and good deeds. This transforms sleep from a passive necessity into a conscious act of worship. With a pure intention, your entire life becomes a conversation with your Creator. You are constantly aware of Him, and your actions, no matter how small, are infused with meaning and purpose. Part 3. The deeper layers of sincerity, ikhlas. Just as we purify our bodies with wudu, we must also constantly purify our intentions. Our intentions can be easily tainted by the whispers of the ego nafs, or by a desire for worldly praise and recognition. This is where the concept of ikhlas, or sincerity, becomes so vital. A sincere intention is one that is purely for the sake of Allah, without any desire for recognition, praise, or reward from people. The spiritual journey is a constant struggle to purify our intentions from the subtle forms of showing off, which is known as Riya. We might do a good deed like giving charity, but a part of our heart secretly wants someone to notice. This is a subtle form of spiritual corruption. We must constantly check our hearts and ask ourselves, am I doing this for Allah or for myself? Am I seeking the praise of people or the love of my Creator? A pure intention brings us closer to Allah because it detaches us from the world, frees us from the anxiety of seeking approval from others, and places our focus entirely on the one who matters most. When we purify our intentions, we realize that the only praise we need is from Allah, and His approval is all that truly matters. Part 4. Niyyah, as a key to divine provision, the power of intention is not just about the hereafter. It is a key that unlocks blessings and provision in this life. When your intention is pure, Allah makes the path easy for you. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever intends good, then his Lord makes it easy for him." Think about this on a practical level, when you intend to do something for the sake of Allah. For example, to be more generous to the poor or to seek an education to benefit humanity, Allah will make it easier for you by opening new doors of provision. Quran says, "And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out and will provide for him from where he does not expect." Quran 65:2-3. A pure intention to please Allah is a sign of our fear and reverence for Him. It is an act of trust. And in return, Allah rewards that trust by making our paths easy, removing our burdens, and providing for us from sources we could never have imagined. The power of Niyyah is not a myth. It is a divine promise to those who turn their hearts to Him. Part 5. The method and practice. Cultivating a conscious heart. So how do we practically live a life of Niyyah? It is a practice of constant consciousness and spiritual mindfulness. Before you begin any task, take a moment to pause. Take a deep breath and consciously make the intention. Ask yourself, what is my intention for doing this? Whether it is cooking a meal, studying for an exam, or going to the mosque, consciously make the intention to do it for Allah's sake. When you feel your intention wavering, when you find yourself seeking the praise of others, gently bring your heart back. Remind yourself, my Lord sees me, and His approval is enough. This is an ongoing spiritual struggle that purifies the heart over time. Make dua. Ask Allah to purify your intentions. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would often pray, "O Allah, make my actions pure and my intentions sincere." This shows us that we need Allah's help to maintain a pure heart, and that prayer is our most powerful tool. Seek spiritual mentorship. Find a wise and pious person who can guide you. It can help you identify the subtle whispers of your ego and teach you how to purify your intention from them. Living with Niyyah is living a life with purpose. It is a life where every single moment, every thought, every word, and every action is a conscious step closer to your Creator. It is the spiritual practice that transforms a simple life into a masterpiece of worship. Conclusion and call to action: the power of intention is the secret of a fulfilled life. It is the key to turning our ordinary existence into a beautiful tapestry of worship. By purifying our intentions, we unlock the divine blessings and provision of Allah, and we find a peace that is independent of worldly praise. In this reminder, we explore the profound spiritual meaning of Niyyah and how it can transform our lives from the inside out. How does a simple intention, or Niyyah, transform our daily actions into acts of worship? What does it mean to have a sincere intention, and why is it so crucial for our spiritual journey? And how can we practically use the power of Niyyah to unlock divine blessings and provision in our lives? This talk is a heart-touching reminder that sometimes what we fear most is the very thing Allah uses to strengthen our faith. Watch, reflect, and share. Subscribe to our channel for more beneficial content.